Are Kenyans in the US really free? Are Kenyans who are in the US, even those with green cards, are they really free? I am asking this question because most of us have really desired to go to the United States. But it looks like we have been having false ideas about the US. The reason for creating this video is this guy is called Edward. Edward is at risk of deportation, just like other 1,200 Kenyans who are at risk of deportation. Even those who have green cards. Bro, there are people who went to the US with green cards, they are about to be deported. That is why I'm asking myself, does a green card really guarantee you citizenship that you can't even be deported? No. Now, if you can be deported with a green card, are you really free? Are you really comfortable in the US? Now, Edward went to the US with a B2 visitor visa. When you go to the US with a B2 visitor visa, the US allows you time to stay within the US. And then after the expiry of that period, you are supposed to go back to your country. But what did Edward do? When Edward reached the US with a visitor visa, he stayed there until that time expired. Now, after overstaying the B2 visitor visa, I think he looked for strategies on how to stay within the US. Now, he did not apply for citizenship because I think it was challenging to apply for citizenship. I think he did not maybe use these strategies that some of my friends used. You go there as a visitor and then you marry a lady, then you apply for citizenship, then you become a citizen. No, but still that is risky. We will talk about it later. Now, Edward, when he went to the United States, he reached there, then he applied for asylum. You know, some of you who are in the US, I need you to help me understand what is applying for asylum. So he has a pending asylum application, right? Now, I don't know how the ICE police noticed him. Maybe somebody had snitched on him. Maybe because of intelligence. I don't know. That one, I don't want to make any speculation. But what I know is that the ICE immigration police stood on the road and just waited for him. Now, according to the video, it looks like Edward had gone to church. Now, or he was going to church. I didn't get it very clearly, but there's something to do with church. Now, when he reached the ICE immigration police, he stood there. The police made him stop, and then they asked him, "What is your name?" He responded. And they had a lot of information about him, by the way. And the guy started ranting, "Oh, I came here. You know, I've been having a green card for 6 years." I know he tried to lie a bit, and then he tried to ask the police, "What have I done wrong? What have I done wrong?" The police had already a lot of information about him. That you came to the US with a B2 visitor visa, and you have overstayed your visa, and you have a pending asylum application, and you are supposed to be deported. Now, this guy has lived in the US for quite a long time. He has invested there. He has a job there. I think he is earning income, and I think he has a lot of property there, okay? He has a family there. Of course, when you go to the US with a B2 visitor visa, it means that you have your people there. And then he told the police that, "I have relatives here. Please allow me to call them." The ICE police told him that you cannot call those people. We want to take you to the processing station. And the police were very kind, by the way. The police did not harass him. So he tried to create some confrontation, just a slight one, by asking them, "What have I done wrong? What have I done wrong?" No, the ICE immigration police told him, "We don't have a problem with you. Don't call anybody. We have a lot of information about you. You overstayed your B2 visitor visa. Let's take you to the processing station. When you are at the processing station, that is when you will call your family." Now, I looked at that guy, Edward, and then I pitied him. Because at some point, I wanted to go to the United States with that B2 visitor visa. And do you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to do what my friends did. And I don't want to say who they are because I know the US is now on a crackdown to find these people and then deport them. Some of my friends, a lot of them, they went to the United States on that B2 visitor visa. They reached there. Then they married ladies there. Then they got citizenship. Now, that is the strategy I wanted to use. Now, let me just be very honest. Because I had applied for green card. I did not get the green card. So I wanted to go using that means. But then again, when I reached the US embassy, they told me that we cannot give you this visa, or you don't have sufficient reasons to go to the US. And I really think I didn't have a reason, because I don't really have a relative. I don't have a close uncle in the United States. I don't have a father, a mother, or a sister in the United States. Going to the US, I was going to visit a friend. And so I think the US immigration looked at it, then they said, "No, you can't go to the United States." So I'm looking at people with B2 visitor visas now being deported, and I'm saying, what? I am supposed to be among those people. If I had gone to the United States, I'm supposed to be among those people who are supposed to be deported. And that's very embarrassing. That strips away your human dignity. Bro, I looked at the ICE immigration police. One of them was standing the right side, another one on the left side. And then they were looking inside the car and they were armed. There's nothing you can do. You cannot drive away. You can't do anything. They have found you. So you have to go to the processing station and then start preparing to go home. As we speak right now, the guy is detained. He's being questioned that why have you overstayed your B2 visitor visa. And then in another separate case, now not the case of Edward, I am looking at another case of a certain guy who went to the US with a green card. Edward did not go with a green card. We talked about the B2 visitor visa. Now for this other guy now, he had a green card, but he did not apply for citizenship. He thought that just by having a green card, he can just stay in the US and then do anything he wants. Now, his records, the bureaucratic records, when they look at them, they find that there are some inconsistencies regarding his identity. Because I think he told me that they looked at his records, then they found that they were not matching, something of the sort. So they took him, then he is also being detained. He is almost ready for deportation. Now, I am asking myself a question. Are you really safe in the United States when you go there? Regardless of how you go. If you go there as a worker, if you go there as a visitor, if you go there with green card, are you really safe? Because the moment you reach the US, these people are not looking at you as a person with dignity. These people will not treat you as a person who needs even the basic human dignity that you should have. Because if you find yourself at the wrong place at the wrong time, you can be deported. If you make any small violation, even a crime, and you have a green card, you can be deported. If you are walking on the street, these people are not treating you like a US citizen now. You are just being looked at as an outsider. For example, a person like me, if I go to the United States with this dark color of mine, the police will always be looking at me and suspecting me. Are you an immigrant? Do you have legal status? They will want to interrogate to know. So I will not even be free. I'm not free. I'm always being interrogated to see if I am a citizen. You see? So I am asking myself, based on these things, there are people who will tell me that we've never seen any problem, we just stay, we are okay. I don't have a problem with that. I know we have people who have stayed in the US for a long time and they are okay. But this idea of being suspected all the time that you are not a citizen, even when you are a citizen. I've had cases of people who say that they are in the US, but the authorities are always looking at their records and then questioning them. Now, is that land giving you peace of mind to stay there? Now, I am not making this video to blame the US government or to try to blame people who have gone there, but I just want to look at this thing as a wake-up call. The videos that are circulating online, the humiliation that we are seeing of our brothers and sisters who went there to look for a better life, I think it's a wake-up call to also look at our country. Why can't we make our country better? This is a question I've been asking myself for a very long time. Why can't we make our country better instead of going to foreign countries and then being harassed on foreign streets and then people looking at you like you are an outsider, you are not even supposed to be here? That if you commit a crime or if you are suspected or if there are some errors in the bureaucratic records, then you have to be deported. Now, this is a big issue to me because if I commit crime in Kenya, I am a Kenyan. I can't be deported anywhere. Where will I be deported to? I can't be deported to Uganda. I can't be taken to another country. The way Miguna was deported to Canada, I laughed at it and then I said, this is being now silly. My friends, if I commit a crime in Kenya, or if I do anything in Kenya, or if the government notices inconsistencies in my records, or if I am suspected maybe of not being a Kenyan, and then they look at my status, I can't be taken anywhere. I can only remain in Kenya. The same applies to a US citizen. When a person is in the US, born in the US, to US parents, and they are US citizens, if the US finds out that there is something they have done that is not right, maybe within the US, they stay in the United States. They can't be deported to any other country because they are US citizens. Now, for us, even if you went there with a green card, they are going to deport you. That one only communicates to me that people who go to the US, they don't have basic human dignity. I can say that even 10 times. You are not treated with dignity. You are not treated with respect. You are always a suspect on the streets moving. People looking at you like now you are a foreigner. You are supposed to go back to your country. I'm looking at it and then I'm wondering. I looked at that video. Edward was confused. Now, the saddest part about these videos circulating is that these people don't want to come back home because home is tough. We don't have opportunities at home. They left home a long time ago. They don't have money at home. There's so much money in the US. There are opportunities in the US. I think there's good life. That's what I think. I don't know. I have not been there. I read about challenges in the US also, that people don't have money, people are broke, people are in debt. So when I say that there's a lot of money in the US, I am not oblivious to the fact that there are also challenges within the United States. So these guys, when they are told to come back home, they just want to remain there. This communicates something, that we have a problem in this country. We have a problem in our country. We are not spending enough time to develop our countries. And that is what is making people leave. Now, when they live in your own country, you don't have dignity. We don't have opportunities. We don't have money. We have a lot of corruption. The law is not being followed. We are in a country that is chaotic in some way. And then we try to seek refuge abroad. You try to go abroad to get some money. You try to go abroad so that you can at least improve your life. And when you reach there, you are a suspect. So at home, there is no dignity. And when you go abroad, there is no dignity. Now, everywhere, there is no dignity. Look at the life of an average Kenyan. Now, where do you go now? Where do you go now? And what hurts me the most is the amount of money we spend on visa application. You know, I applied for visas twice. The amount of money I had to spend, non-refundable. Bro, the amount of money we spend there is a lot, and then it is non-refundable. So United States already makes a lot of money from poor Kenyans. Where? The US government makes a lot of money from poverty, makes a lot of money from poor people in Kenya. Then when you reach abroad also, you are at risk of deportation. When you are being deported, you come to a country where there are no opportunities. And then you start applying for another visa using money that cannot be returned to you. Do you know how much money the US government makes from poor Kenyans who want to travel abroad? A lot of Kenyans want to travel abroad through desperation. They are desperate. There are no opportunities in the country. We think people abroad live better lives. That is what we think. Of course, after reading a lot and trying to interact with the people in the US, you can find out that their lives are not as good as we think. They are not as good. Of course, there is money in the US. There is a functional government. There are working systems. There is little corruption. But when you look at lives of people in the US, the way they are in the mortgage, the way they cannot afford the emergencies, the way they cannot even come back home, you find that your mother died, you cannot even afford air ticket, round trip. You know, you find that people in the US live difficult lives. But overall, life in the US is better. So we want to go to the US through desperation. We really fight to go there. Now, as we fight to go there, the US is making a lot of money from you. So part of the money, the billions of dollars that the US government has, it comes from poor countries. Bro, do you understand what a lottery means? What a lottery? Have you ever tried to bet on SportPesa or any other platform? You find that you bet, a lot of people bet, but a few people win. So when you find that 50 million people, because the US used to allow 50 million people to win, you notice that more than 200 million people tried to apply for that, and then they paid an unrefundable fees. So the US government makes millions and millions of dollars from people in poor countries so that you can go there, so that you can be deported. Don't you see this is interfering with our basic human dignity? This is like despising us. Bro, I looked at the whole thing, then I'm asking myself, what is really in the United States that we can't do here? Then I'm noticing that it is just because we have bad leaders. We do have money to develop our governments. The problem is leaders stealing money, and then we can't blame leaders. And as I have always said, I think I made a previous video, then I said that I can't blame leaders. I blame Kenyans themselves. Because leaders are a reflection of us. When they steal, it means that we Kenyans also want to steal. It's just that we don't have an opportunity. Now, someone will argue that Kenya doesn't have a lot of money. Let me give you an example. I am a qualified nurse, graduate, degree nurse. In my village, we have competent doctors like Atwoli Lukoe. That is a competent psychiatrist, a professor. He's now the dean of students, I think, in... Is he the I don't know. I will confirm that. But what I know is that he's a competent, qualified doctor. Now, we have several other doctors within this village. My village has produced doctors, it has produced nurses, it has produced pharmacists. Even some of my cousins are competent pharmacists. Now, how much does it cost to build a hospital, to employ all these people to come and live near home to develop my village? Only 1 billion. I was listening to Joachim, this guy called Joachim, and he was saying that only 1 billion shillings is required to build a hospital like Kenyatta Hospital. Now, if 1 billion can be brought to my village, is it possible to get 1 billion to come to my village to build a hospital, to employ all these people so that we don't go to other places to look for treatment, so that revenues can remain here and so that we can develop this place? It is very possible. But where do those billions go? Into corruption. You find that a leader stole 10 billion. A leader looted 5 billion. Now, a leader is looting 5 Kenyatta hospitals. I don't know if you are getting me very clearly. Bro, I don't know how to talk to this camera. We have a leader who have looted 10 Moi teaching and referral hospitals. Is that sinking in? Now, how much does it cost to put up a hospital like Kakamega County Referral Hospital? I don't think it's even 1 billion, okay? But that is the biggest hospital now we have around. What if we can do that? Now, I have talked about hospitals because I am a healthcare professional. What about other industries? We have engineers in this country. We have finance people in this country. We have social scientists in this country. We have so many competent people in this country. If you go abroad, by the way, in places like Dubai, you find that it is Kenyans who are doing architectural designs of those things. You find that Kenyans in places like Australia, in places like the UK, are the ones developing those countries. Kenya has competent workforce in the world. Have you ever... I hear people who have gone abroad when they are in interviews and when they are talking about Kenyans abroad. We have a lot of hardworking Kenyans in foreign countries. Competent, qualified Kenyans who can come back home and then develop our country. And I think that is why Kenya is a better economy than most of surrounding countries like Uganda, Tanzania, DRC, Congo. Kenya, we are doing much better. Why? Because Kenya has bright people. Kenya has bright villagers who are just holding cameras in villages like these. People who are learned, but they are looking at it and then they are making more money from other things than what they studied in. We are very competent people. Why can't they take money and then invest, then employ the expertise of some of us? You know, that the only place I feel safe working as a nurse is in the United States. You've heard me speak about that severally. That I can only be a nurse in the United States. But in Kenya, I can live a much better life than a nurse. Like right now. A nurse can't live like me. I live a much better life than a nurse and I am unemployed. So you can imagine an unemployed person lives a better life than a nurse. That is mockery. It's mockery. You see. So, can we develop our countries? Yes, we can develop our countries. Do we have enough money to develop our countries? Of course, yes, we can develop our countries. But where is that money going? Into corruption. And where does the corruption money go? Some of it is stashed in offshore accounts. Some of these politicians are very rich. They have hidden a lot of wealth abroad. Then the remaining money, they give it to sycophants to make a lot of noise. You find that a politician walks around with this county, then gives some few people money to make a lot of noise about them, then praise them when they are in the power stealing. So we have cheerleaders and we have people who cheer politicians who steal. And then they go on a stealing spree. Then they steal a lot of money from this country. When you hear the money that politicians steal, it is hundreds of millions and billions. Money that can build industries, money that can put up hospitals, money that can put up other investments and businesses, money that can develop villages. Kenya has enough money to develop itself. But we strip off our human dignity when we go to other countries and then they have to make fun of us. We are at risk of being stopped by the ICE immigration police. Then they have to be asking us about our immigration status. Then we have to put ourselves at risk of deportation. Then the Kenyans who have been respecting us that we went to the United States, now they start making fun of us. Look, he went there, he thought that he will succeed. Come back home. Let us develop our country. My recommendation in this video, and I don't know if this recommendation will be heard, let us utilize the resources we have well. That is the problem we have, by the way. Utilization of resources. The amount of money we have, can we use it well? Can we use it to develop our countries? Can we use it to employ competent people? I don't know how we will do it, because a lot of competent, qualified, educated people are jobless, and the only way they can execute their skills is to go to foreign countries where systems are working, and this is embarrassing to our nation. I wish this video reaches leaders so that they can see the importance of improving our economy, because our people are suffering and being humiliated in foreign countries. Thank you for listening to me. This is Gidi Akali, and we shall meet again in another video. Peace.